Joining me right now is Newark Councilman Ronald C. Rice.
Joining me again, our Newark Councilman Ronald C. Rice.
Joining me now from D.C. is the Senior Director of Government Relations for the National Alliance is Ron Rice.
Hey folks, so we're here to talk about 5 things I learned the hard way about marriage. Marriage is a beautiful institution, but let's be real, it's not always easy. And we all know the stats, right? In the U.S., about 50% of first marriages last, while the other half end in divorce or separation. And the divorce rate decreases significantly after the first 10 years of marriage. Now, after 11 years with my lovely wife, I've learned some lessons the hard way and some not so hard ways. I like to think that experience is the best teacher, and what is lacking on social media platforms near and far, from the manosphere, drizzle, the female empowerment, relationship content, sprinkle, is commentary from actual married couples 10 years plus in. Lessons from we the initiated might actually save someone else from the same struggles of 90% of these so-called relationship experts of never married and thrice divorced failures and sycophants. Watch till the end and comment and share your biggest marriage or relationship lesson. Lesson number 1, marriage is never 50-50. I know there's a lot of content out there, back and forth shows of gobbledygook about should women go 50-50 with a man in marriage or relationship? There are 2 things wrong with that thinking. Let's start there. Number 1, how do you discount going 50-50 when you are already paying 100%? Can you make that make sense? And number 2, marriage is never, ever 50%. Let me give you some examples. I cook and buy groceries. My wife takes kids to school. She buys the clothes, she plans vacations, family outings, etc. But I handle the financial planning. Big surprise, right? I take kids to events, I help with homework. My wife makes sure landscapers, cleaning people, exterminator folks, they come on schedule, etc. There is some overlap and no one gets enough sleep, but I digress. And let me add this. Financially, 50-50 really doesn't make any sense. My family, if you follow my content here, became debt-free except for our 2 mortgages on December 4th, 2024. And we have 1 account for our household budget, 1 high-yield savings account, 1 investment account, 1 with 100% of all of our money. Hear me good and loudly when I say that in a world as expensive as this one is, in these United States of America, you cannot, I repeat, you cannot get debt-free and have the life you want financially unless you do it together. Not 50-50, 100%. Okay, lesson number 2. The 80-20 rule is real, folks. Now, too many people think that the person that you're going to marry is going to be everything on a list, right? The person you have always dreamed of. When in fact, if you get 80%, shout out to the movie Why Did I Get Married? Man, you have hit the jackpot. It's paradise on a stick, essentially. I know women, y'all want the 3 6s, right? 6 feet tall, 6-pack, making 6 figures. The problem is only 20% of all males make $100,000 or more in America, and only 5 to 10% of men under 30 make that amount. For Black men, less than 5% make 6 figures. And miss me with all that whole Black women are doing so much better than Black men stuff. Pew Research says Black women making 6 figures is less than 6% of the population. Now, men want a woman with less than 3 sexual partners, want to be modest, submissive, have no kids, cook clean, be fit, but with a big butt and the no BBLs and the freak in the sheets, no weaves, no fake eyelashes, etc. They got a list too. They want a woman that they can create like Frankenstein's monster because that chick ain't nowhere to be found. Listen, my wife's not perfect, but neither am I. But she's beautiful, she's well educated with advanced degrees, she makes great money, she respects me and my position as the head of the household. Yes, God, me, wife, kids, community. I know that's biblical though. A great mother, compassionate, loves God, put others before herself, and is focused on me our marriage and our family, and she is my best friend. It ain't 100%, but damn close is good enough for me, and it needs to be good enough for you. Okay, lesson number 3. Marriage is a lifetime commitment until death do you part. Yeah, I said it, and I said it out loud. Now, I know what you're going to say. Irreconcilable differences is a real thing. Sometimes people change. Who you married is not the same person. Hell, you ain't the same person that you were when you got married. You know what I call on that? Bullshit. Listen, and listen to me good. Don't get married unless it's easy seeing yourself married to that person for the rest of your life. Period. Married to them when their looks fade or their body changes. Married to them if they go broke. Married to them if they get sick. And I'm talking debilitatingly sick. Married to them when arguments happen or distress. Married to them during midlife crisis and menopause. Married to them when it is boring. You know, the vows you take until death when you got married, right? Seem to forget about those. It seems that people are more excited with the idea of marriage and the ceremony, honeymoon, how it looks to people, family, friends, social media, instead of the actual work of marriage. It is, we're going to get back to that too. Just want to put that out. But it is a choice. And unless it is mentally or physically abusive relationship or dangerous, you have a commitment to work all day, every day on it. And I cannot and do not want to live without my wife. We are literally one flesh. Bonnie and Clyde until the wheels fall off this mode. And whatever problems we have, divorce is not an option. All right. Lesson number 4. Marriage is work every day, but it is joyful work. Former Vice President Kamala Harris and former presidential candidate Kamala Harris used to say during her 107-day campaign for president that hard work is good work. And that describes marriage. And like Billy Hoyle said in the movie White Man Can't Jump, it is hard goddamn work, but it's worth it. And when you commit to it, what you have will be admired by you both as you see what you have built together. Have you ever planted a garden? You know, you pull up the weeds, you add soil, right? Till the land, you got to plant seeds, you got to add fertilizer, water, you got to nurture it. And when what you planted blooms, you feel like a proud papa or mama, like you did something because you put the work in. If I gave you $1 right now, it wouldn't mean that much. I mean, it's only a freaking dollar, right? But if you had to earn that dollar working at it at a salary for 10 cents every week, that dollar would be of more value because you had to work for it. You had to actually earn it. Listen, if you ain't working harder to keep your marriage than you work to get it, you ain't doing marriage right. And that's the bottom line. Because Stone Cold Steve Austin said so. And finally, lesson number 5, marriage is selfless. A lot of times, you will give more than you receive. Not all the time, but like lesson number 4 said, if you're married, you're happy to do it. Now, I'll give you a good example that hits close to home. My wife has been tired with work lately. Early mornings, late nights, she's exhausted. I now take the kids for 4 hours every Sunday after church to give her some time to do what she wants and needs to do. Now, do I really have the time to do it and delay the things that I have to do or prioritize? No, but I do it because my wife needs me to do it without her saying it. And her happiness and peace gives me and my household peace and mental wellness. And that's the bottom line and most important. Likewise, my wife has done the same thing for me numerous times, over and over again. And I'll end this lesson with a story I caught from Brother Minister Nuri Muhammad, who's a leader and teacher in the Nation of Islam on another platform. He told this story. A wife had very, very long hair and wanted a special brush to take better care of it. She asked her husband for the money to purchase it, but he declined because they had a modest income and he needed whatever extra money they had to repair his broken watch for work. But when he went to the watch shop to repair it, the husband asked the proprietor of the shop how much he could get if he sold his watch to him. And the husband came home excited with the special brush for his wife, having sold his watch to procure the funds when she came to the door with all of her hair cut off. Shocked, the husband asked her, why did you cut your hair? And she replied, because I sold it to buy you a new watch. When you and your wife think like that, you will last. It is not happy wife, happy life. It is happy spouse, husband or wife, happy house. Marriage is a journey and not a destination. And these lessons made my marriage stronger, and I hope they help you too. But tell me, which lesson stood out to you the most from our little conversation here? Let's talk in the comments, and if you want more real conversations about marriage, hit that subscribe button. And remember, stay curious and think. It ain't illegal yet.